But I do kind of wonder, like, if both parts make a lot of money, are they gonna, like, if the next time they want to make, like, a big bombastic musical or, like, remake a big musical, are they going to, like, do it, like, part 1 and part 2? Because I don't think it works for, like, the...
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, God.
Ow.
Dara.
Huh?
Did I ever tell you I love the show?
Really? You do?
I'm not sure if I've told you this before, but I love this show.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What's the name of the woman who created this? Does she speak English?
I don't know, actually.
I mean, I thought it'd be fun to have her on the podcast without a translator.
That might be difficult. Because my Japanese is too simple to have a
we need to find a translator.
What is that?
Papa? Mm-hmm. Oh, remember that? Are they okay?
Yeah, they'll be fine. Probably, maybe. Don't worry about it.
Will your lady be okay?
She'll be fine.
Oh, I didn't notice that. So, do we see everything? Have we seen everything in the theme song yet?
Not quite.
Okay. I feel like once,
but very close.
I feel like once we see everything in the theme song, you know that's when this like the season's almost over.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of First Reaction, Fan Reaction. I am your host, King Cluley. With me is my co-host,
Dara Whitman.
How's it going, Dara?
New theme song?
No, that was next episode.
Well, yeah, but
yeah.
Within this recording, also
within this recording session, we did get a new theme song. Yeah. Yes. What else?
Do you want to talk about the episode?
I think we should talk about the episode. Yep. So before we get started, I'm going to quick plug our social media. So thank you for watching and or listening and or watching. Yeah. You can, of course, find us on a variety of social media. If you are watching us on YouTube, please leave a comment, and we try to read those at the end of every show, or semi-every show. Depends how you're watching us. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate that. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can also follow us on a variety of social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can give us some money on Patreon. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this episode. We are still talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's episode 38 and 39. That's Conflict at Baschool and Daydream. I wasn't sure if it was Baschool or Baschool, but I think they say Baschool in this show. Let's get started with the Baschool episode. Dara, any thoughts before we jump into synopsis?
Let's just jump to synopsis.
Sure. So, if you recall the events of last episode, we got a big reveal that...
It doesn't really matter in this episode.
It kind of has a role in the opening scene a little bit, but it doesn't actually play a huge role in these two episodes.
Oh, right,
but it is kind of like looming over us at all times that we know that Pride is out there, and Pride is very powerful.
And also in the form of a child named Celine Bradley.
Yeah. Correct. So Celine Bradley is Pride, etc., etc., etc. So we kind of actually open on a bit of the fallout from that. Oh my God, it's Riza. Are you good?
Is there sound?
Yeah. I just thought Hayate.
Oh, thank God. Listen, she's had a night.
She's had, my girl traumatized. Oh, honey.
She's gonna keep all the lights on, isn't she?
No matter where you are, I will be watching you.
That's fine.
That's not good.
The shadows.
Oh, she's a bit traumatized. And
She's very traumatized by that, and I feel like Hawkeye has, in most cases, pretty unflappable. I mean, times that we've seen her like really freaked out have been kind of the conflict with Lust, and a couple other times, but usually she like can keep a cool head when situations get kind of intense. But we see her kind of coming home after the interaction with Salim/Pride, and she is panicky.
She probably turn all the lights on.
Yeah, so because she just has like, there's like one light on the house, and so there's a lot of shadows, and of course the very last thing that Pride told her was, "I will always be watching you from the shadows." Spooky. And so anytime there's like, the shadow, she's going to get a little freaked out. So she gets a little panicky, but then we realize that it's just Black Hayate and he's fine. And we love Black Hayate.
We do.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello there, madam. This is your neighborhood florist.
Damn it!
What are you talking about, Colonel?
Sorry. I kinda got drunk and somehow bought a car full of flowers. You wanna do me a favor and take some off my hands?
Aww.
What's wrong?
It's nothing.
He knows.
You know something.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Everything's fine.
It's it.
And sorry to let you down, but I don't even own a flower vase.
Oh.
Thanks for thinking of me, though. Have a good night. Okay, bye.
Black Coyote, save us.
Girl, turn your lights on.
All of them.
It's amazing how uncanny his timing is.
Girl,
You okay?
put your stuff together.
You okay?
Yeah.
But he knows.
You know something.
But probably something that shouldn't be said over the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I thought at first, because, like, at first I'm thinking, like, is, like, something up and he needs to, like just say something important because he does that voice.
Yeah, he does. He starts off like he's doing like the undercover voice he does where he pose like where they like trade off posing as like flower salesman, and so he like starts off as like like a salesman, and he's like doing that kind of
like
really
hey,
sunny,
buddy,
like,
what's
hey,
up,
how's it going? What's up? And she's like, knock it off. She's like, knock it off, Colonel. And he's like,
Not the time.
And he's like, sorry, I just got drunk and I bought a bunch of flowers. Do you want any? And she kind of hesitates, like, and immediately he sobers up and he's like, what's wrong? Like, she just like pauses for a second longer than she normally does, and he's like clocks it immediately.
I find it hilarious that like I know your dirty shipping secrets. And, like, for me, like that kind of scene would, like, make me go feral.
Yes.
Because, like, it's just, like, such a moment of just, like, I know you so well.
Yeah. You know why I ship them so hard, because, like, especially I think as we get into the series, because in the beginning it's not really there, but, like, I think after kind of the conflict with Lesson on, feral. I kept it under control today.
I was, like, thinking, like, what, like, comparison I was thinking of them, and, like, the truth of the matter is I'm getting, like, such, like, and if you know this, probably people don't know, I'm getting such, like, a Bensler vibe, which is, like, Elliot Stabler and Olivia Benson from Wonder. Okay. Like, that kind of vibe of just, like, it's kind of there.
Yeah.
And, like, there's, like, a moment with, like, early episodes where, like, you see it more and more of just, like, if something happens to them, they're gonna go in attack mode.
Yeah, I mean, I think, too, also in, like, when we talk about it, I try not to, like, lean too hard into the shipperiness of it, because I don't want that to detract from, I think, like, the genuinely interesting dynamic that they have, regardless of how you feel about, like, romance or none. Take that out of it, like, take that whole thing out of it. I still think they have a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah, but it's like with that, like, you get the vibe, but it's like they are, like, really, really, like, they're closer than friends.
Yes.
They love each other. They will do anything for each other. If something happens to that person, they're gonna go on the attack.
Yes.
But, like, there's a little something
There's,
there.
like, a little something, and we're like,
we might want them to kiss, at least.
Just like a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyway, so Mustang immediately clocks some things wrong, and Hawkeye's like, no, we're good. Sorry.
I feel like that's something you don't tell somebody over the phone.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, she's in a situation where, like, again, she knows that she is under surveillance at all times, and, like, she's not going to give that up easily. But she also says that she's like, I'm sorry, I don't even own a flower vase. And then they kind of cut the conversation there. But after, she does have a moment with, like, Black Coyote where she, like, feels a little bit more, I guess, at ease.
She should still turn the lights on in our house.
Yeah, she should probably get rid of the shadows. Anyway, or just sit in total darkness. That too. So we're gonna flash back. That's actually really all we.
Well, we also get, like, a cut quick to Mustang. Where he, like, has, like, he's still holding his phone. He's, like, a look on his face, like, okay, something's up.
He's like, yeah, because he's clocked it, and he's like, okay. He's like, all right,
I gotta get that tea.
Gotta get that tea, though. And also figure out what to do with all these flowers. Because I bought $350 worth of flowers.
Was he actually drunk, or he just, like, said that to get
I think he just said that. Because, well, that's, how else do you justify buying that many flowers?
Besides the actual reason. Which, like, you can tell Hawkeye, but also, Mustang, you can get laid. Just give girls some flowers.
Yeah.
You'll get laid.
Or you could make a lay and then get laid.
Ba-bum-ching.
Hey, but anyway, so that's kind of really all we see of them in these episodes. I feel like
We gotta go back to Baschool.
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 Baschool. Yes.
Storm the Bastille.
All squads are to contact us here immediately if you spot Scar.
Yes, sir.
Hey Miles, why don't you come with us?
Hey, those guys.
We've got orders to keep the two of you company.
There's gonna be a conflict.
Baschool.
Where's Winry?
Let's see.
What's it gonna take to ditch these guys?
There was someone right over there! There was?
Wait for us!
Idiot children.
What the? Where are they?
Suck it.
Turn down this hall.
Get wrecked.
Where's Winry?
Good question. Don't worry about it.
Don't say that. I am. We did it.
Pretty sure this place is...
Don't yell if you're trying to hide.
So we kind of see this operation to locate Scar. So they are in this abandoned mining town, which is called Baschool, which is where the episode gets its title, obviously. And they're going to divide into teams and then go on the search. So basically, it's actually a very large town with a ton of buildings and everything has been abandoned. So it's going to take a really long time to actually go and search around. So,
But Ed and Elle are like, we gotta get away from these guys.
yeah, so they split up in different groups, and Ed and Elle are being accompanied by two of Kimberly's men who are named Darius and Heinkel, or Henkel, H-E-I, and hold on, let me read the Romanji of this. Anyway, I'm just gonna say his name until I learn how to say it. This is on Wiki Writers. I love you, but like I thought you would have put the Japanese, the Romanji in here, the katakana at least. Anyway. So, so they're being accompanied by a couple of guys, and they decide to basically give them the slip, as it says here, and they need to get away so they can look for Scar on their own, because obviously they have ulterior motives to looking for Scar, because they're looking for May specifically, because all about that alchemy though. So they realize, they kind of look at the scale of the place. They're like, oh my god, how are we going to find them? It's almost like they're going to have to come looking for us. And then Mei Chang shows up and I was like, oh my god, I was looking for you.
Would make things a hell of a lot easier if Scar and that girl just came to us.
It can't be.
No way.
Is that a boy that you love?
She did come to us.
What in the world are you doing here, Alpha?
Oh my god, she's so cute.
You came this whole way just so you could find
She's got a little crush. It's so cute.
I really needed to see
Oh,
you.
her first sojourn dreams are gonna. Aw. Can't wait for her poor little dreams to be crushed.
I need you to tell me all you can about
No,
alchemy.
as a gentleman.
Can you?
But no, see when he gets his body back.
That's not the only one. I need to see you too, little girl. Tell us everything
Stop
you know.
being a creep,
You don't
Ed.
believe it.
Oh no, both brothers have fallen desperately in love with me. I'm sorry, Edward, but you're just not my type.
Don't play games with us.
Bay!
Oh my god, Bay! Yeah, so May is now number one Alphonse Elric stan. She's got a huge crush on him, and so
Again,
she
she's gonna be disappointed when he gets his body back.
No, he just needs a little bit of time, and then he's gonna be a real looker, I promise.
Right, but he's not gonna want to date her.
Yeah, he's gonna be preoccupied with like basic nutrition. Oh, poor Alphonse.
And then apple pie.
And then apple pie. And then maybe girls after that.
I don't know like how realistic like this show. I mean, I know it's like got Acme in it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
is it gonna be like a thing of just like we get his body back and then we're just gonna cut and then he's like just like normal and in the hospital bed, or are we actually gonna put him in the ICU for like 6 months to a year?
That's a good question. I cannot answer that.
Okay. Because you know that happens sometimes.
You want me to spoil the ending of the show, Dara?
Well, I'm assuming he's gonna get his body back by the end of the show. I'm not gonna lie.
That's very optimistic of you. It's definitely a possibility. Anyway, so May shows up.
Hooray! We found her.
And she is number one alpha, and she like tackle hugs him. It's very funny. And so they're trying to talk to her about alchemy. Like, yo, we were looking for you because of alchemy, and she's like, oh my god, you're looking for me, and it's like, let's talk about alchemy, and she's like, oh my god, you're looking for me too. Oh my god, both brothers are in love with me.
Alchemy.
I love. She's such a sweetheart. I love her, and she's such a girl. I think a teenage girl. Because actually, how old is she?
I thought she was like 10.
I think she's older than she looks, but she's not like a full teenager. Hold on, I'm awful. I'm a fake fan.
I assume she was like her voice makes her sound like she's a child.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be.
She like 20?
That'd be funny. What's her age? Okay, this says 13. Okay.
So actually, Al and her are close in age. Well,
yeah, they're only like 1 to 2 years apart. I think
okay,
they're closer to. Like,
I don't know, but I mean, once she does, not gonna sound like a child, but
yeah, I think it's very funny that like May is older than she looks, and Ling is like younger than he looks, and I think that's just a funny dynamic there.
yeah.
So anyway, so May's here, and we're like, yay,
Alchemy.
and then also this whole time we've been asking where's Winry because we haven't seen her, but we know that she tagged along. It turns out that Winry has been hiding in Al's armor.
Child.
Al? Oh, sorry.
Oh, thank God.
I kept bumping my head.
Excuse me! Who is this woman now? How could you do this to me? Am I not enough for you, Al?
It's not like that. She's just a friend. Wait, why am I explaining this like I was cheating on her or something?
Off like that.
Hey, buddy.
The Elric brothers are here.
Who's that?
Right, my face. I'm Dr. Marco.
Remember?
Dr. Marco?
But you look... What happened?
Why don't you tell me what you're doing here first?
Looking for you. What a coincidence.
The Elric brothers are here!
Mei Chang gets upset.
Mei Chang is. She's like, I can't believe you're seeing other women. And Al's like, no, she's just a friend. And then he's like, why am I so concerned about that?
Listen, it doesn't look great when you realize that there is a girl inside of your body.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, it's true. But the fact that Al is like concerned about like clearing it up for it, and he's like, why am I worried about this? is so funny. Anyway, and then so it's not just May who arrives, it's also Dr. Marco is here.
Hooray!
And we're like, oh my god, Dr. Marco, and of course, and I have not seen him in a while. So we're like, hey, buddy, what happened to your face?
Long story.
You look different.
He does. Long story though.
And then we have a very funny reunion because Yoki arrives, and as we recall, nothing, because we actually did not see Yoki meet the Elrics in this show.
And who are you?
Don't act like you don't know me. How could you have forgotten Yoki, the great proprietor of Usewell?
Rather easily. Are you sure we've actually met?
How
It's like that episode didn't even happen.
You destroyed my life.
Usewell
The
says.
glorious mining town of Usewell. The people loved me, for I was more devoted to their happiness than anything.
Was it?
Sure. Everyone says, sorry, I can't speak that much Japanese. Oh.
Smack.
But alas, we were cursed by the arrival of the greatest criminal of all time, the state alchemist, Edward Elric.
Gold. What is the...
I don't think this is what happened.
Yeah. It's actually a little bit of what happened.
But like,
Little
Ed
did
wasn't
I
being
know
all.
it was an ingenious
He was being a
deception.
little bit like that.
Why?
Well, no. He was helping out because
Yoki's
he
not
sucks.
actually a good person.
Yeah. In restaurant.
So he got coal instead of gold.
So yeah, basically, so it's illegal for them to transmute gold.
But it sounds like Yoki wasn't actually a good person.
No, he's awful.
And actually, Ed was there to help.
Yeah.
Where's Al in this whole story?
Thus, the mine was stolen from me. Even worse, I was banished by the ungrateful townspeople.
Hooray!
You
The
suck.
military even fell for their wretched lies.
Yeah.
This wasn't the 2003 episode.
This was an episode in the 2003 version, and all of this gets flashed down. But we do have a very funny like flashback sequence.
It's like a silent movie.
Yeah, this style of a silent movie, which is very unfortunate because like I'm calling out roll here, or I'm calling out whoever puts these online because like you need to subtitle the Japanese on the screen because it's all in Japanese and it's all in kanji as well. So like doesn't help me who like I know this much Japanese and I know this much kanji.
Well, clearly you should have learned more.
I know I'm such a fake.
It's all your fault and not Crunchyroll and not the corporation.
Sometimes I can read the subtitles if they're like simple, but like other times I was like, shit. But like thankfully.
You get the vibe.
I saw the 2003 episode, so I can recall the whole thing for you. So basically, Yogi was kind of he was the mining inspector in a town called Usewell.
And apparently was great. Everybody loved him.
And he also abused well because he was a really shitty boss. Although he portrays himself as like, I was great at my job. Everybody loves me. But no, especially I feel like this story like very mirrors. I don't think this is a direct tie-in, but like American mining towns and like the uprisings they had against their bosses and a very like the pro union pro labor movement.
Or even in like the UK.
Yes, very much that as well. Where like the miners in the town are like, hey, this sucks, and then try to rebel and overthrow the kind of corrupt asshole leadership that they have.
And then the Eller brothers get there.
Yes. So basically what happens is Ed tricks Yoki into handing over the deed in exchange for gold bars. And this is not really stated here, but it is stated in the 2003 version that like your alchemists are legally barred from transmuting things into gold.
They're barred from it, but they technically can do it.
Yeah. It's a big no because like obviously the economy. So, but basically like Yoki is tricked to be like, no, I'll do it for you, man. We're cool like that. And he's like, cool. But then turns out it was not gold the entire time. And so Yoki gets kind of ousted and thrown from his shitty leadership, and then he is ousted from the state military. And he's, we see the wanted signs in various places in different episodes.
I set out to renew my life in every trade imaginable, but I failed at each one.
Because you're
sucks.
Because you're a dick.
Yeah, because
I
he
did
sucks.
try to invest my savings, only to yet again be swindled.
That's your fault.
I called upon a wealthy family to request a charitable loan.
So, hello?
Oh, I can't believe this is the first time we've actually seen him on camera. Aw.
Armstrong?
It's his younger sister. Which is very strong. No.
Hooray! And then he died?
And then...
None of it would have happened if it weren't for the Elric brothers. And it will be a vengeance far worse than death.
with people who actually like them and scars.
And so he keeps trying to do various things to get his life back in order. We see him join the circus at some point. He does a couple other things. And one of them, which is very funny, because it's actually the first time that we see this. And there's so much in this episode that is like, if you saw the 2003 version, so much of this would make more sense to you. Or if you read the manga. So one of those things is that he says he tries to, he goes to a mansion that's owned by a family looking for a charitable donation. We actually see the footage of he's breaking into this home. And because apparently he's going to steal something. And then we see him stopped by the residents of that home. This is, I'm not sure if you figured this out there, this is the Armstrong family mansion. And the first two people that we see are Amua and Strongine Armstrong, which is Armstrong. So it's in between the two Armstrong siblings that we already know. So Alex Armstrong has 4 sisters. I think he's number 4 out of 5, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
So
it's like
Olivier is the oldest.
And then the two
the 2 daughters who like who look very much like Alex and not Olivier.
Yeah. And then Alex, and then the other kid.
Yeah, and then the youngest daughter, who is
and they're all badasses?
very pretty, and she's so funny because she's such an Armstrong. She looks like very like small and dainty, unlike some of the other sisters. But then she like lifts the piano, and she's like ah, and her name is Catherine. So we actually, it's a shame because one of the episodes that I was thinking about trying to rope in to show at some point from the 2003 version is some of the side stories that are in the manga that don't make it to this version, and one of them includes I think it's Armstrong setting Havoc up with a date with one of his sisters, and it's very funny. And that's where we actually get to see the fact that Armstrong in that version talks more about him having multiple siblings. So yes, he is the only boy, I think, of 5 kids, and Olivier, who is of course absolute badass and probably not like any of her siblings, is the one who is the major general at Police. So that's a little more, like, they really try to flesh that out so we can get that information in Brotherhood, because we're really missing out on this version. So I thought it was a funny story. And of course then something goes from there. Yoki tries to take his savings and gamble it, and ends up losing it all, gets kicked out, and then he kind of finds himself in that, I think it's like a refugee camp, like Yashalan refugee camp, and that's how he comes into the acquaintanceship with Scar.
Yeah.
So any thoughts on Yoki, Dara?
No.
No one should have any thoughts about Yoki, and that's better suited for him. This is just very funny. So I'm glad that they get to put some backstory for the folks who did not watch the original or read the manga. He's just a random jerk who has bad things happen to him, and it makes it very funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, no one cares about Yoki, so we're going to talk back. So the Elrics, they're trying to talk with Dr. Marco and May and get everything sorted out there.
Never let a thieving hussy like you take it from me!
Did he just call me a hussy? I already told you, she's just a childhood friend.
You should think about something else, like alchemy.
You better listen to me, damn it!
Yeah,
Yoki, nobody cares.
Life is hard. Trust me. I know just how you
Are
feel.
you patronizing me?
No one cares about Yoki. It's very funny.
So you're not the most competent soldier, are you?
I'm sorry, sir.
I'll lead a search team. I need 2 men from Charlie Squad.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye.
Don't forget, Major. I know Scar is our main objective.
I'm also worried about when we see Scar.
It'll be interesting. Probably. We'll see.
Can he apologize?
I'm not sure he's that nice. But then we flash to Kimberly, who is alert that Winry is missing, because Winry's supposed to be in Kimberly's care, and she's not, because where could she be? A question. Wondering. And they kind of go out with Major Miles to look for her. So we go to Scar, because Scar is actually not with the rest of his crew. He is somewhere else doing who knows what.
Getting food?
He was getting food. He was trying to look for rations, and wasn't looking great for them.
Nothing edible, that is.
Scar, run!
Oh my god, those guys.
You must be Scar.
Well, that was fucking
We
fast.
need you to come with us. Mr. Kimberly is waiting for you.
Okay.
But do you honestly think that the 2 of you are gonna be enough to take me against my will?
Yes.
We'll see, but we do have a slight advantage.
Do we?
They do.
Camaro?
Oh, Chimera.
Okay. Are those Ninja Turtle characters?
Let's just see how this plays out.
They do.
Chimeras, huh?
They do look like Bebop and Rocksteady.
Let's go.
Fullmetal
Alchemist.
Alchemist.
Hi, Yoki.
Fullmetal
Zapata
Alchemist.
and Jerso. This guy's like, I can take you. And they're like, oh, can you? And it turns out that they are actually chimeras. So that sucks for them.
They
for everyone.
transform into Bebop and
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Essentially, well, one is like a frog, and the other is like a
rhino?
like a rhino, but with quills, I think.
A rhino porcupine? What were Bebop's and Rocksteady?
Actually, what were Bebop and Rocksteady? Serious.
Yeah, kind of.
Kinda. Like that. Yeah. But like definitely they give very Bebop and Rocksteady vibes. Yeah.
So one's
he really is.
I mean, if you want another vibe, one is like so it's like a rhino with like rhino dinosaur with like quills.
Yeah.
And then the other one looks like
a hog of some sort.
Looks like that weird monster from that terrible episode of Doctor Who. Don't at me. I know people think it's underrated. It's not. It's fucking terrible. Don't at me.
Him.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
You don't, but people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not the Raxacorian Fallibatorius.
Fullmetal Alchemist?
Fullmetal Alchemist
Brotherhood.
I've learned a lot since we met. Like what it takes to create a Philosopher's Stone. I know there's something wrong with this country. And there's something rotten with its alchemy.
Yes.
I've decided...
It's written in code, but we believe this book contains all of the answers that we need.
If we can decipher what's in there, then Al and I can...
Perhaps. I believe so. But they'll be impossible to translate without the assistance of Scar.
What do we need him for?
I literally just told you.
What do you think that was?
That's the building Scar was in. You think it's the military?
Yep.
Yes.
Call you just...
So Scar's here.
Yes.
Don't do anything, Winry. Well, maybe get him to translate the thing, and then
He's
don't.
fast for his size.
Damn.
Gross.
Ew.
Tired yet?
Bye. Oh.
Oh.
We studied your file carefully enough to know that
Is
you
he gonna be
destroyed
saved
the ground when things
by
start
an
to look
Elric or
bad.
two?
Maybe.
We're gonna beat you to a pulp before turning you over.
I mean, if they.
Well, look at this.
I think these are Kimberly's goons.
They are.
The ones he brought from Central.
They are? Yeah, I think you're right.
They got the
We've
military
already
hands.
got this under control. You just sit tight while we take care of Scar.
We're gonna need to murder.
Talking monsters!
So they engage in a fight, and we get to see these Chimera have like different abilities. So one has spit, and the other has sharp thing. But it genuinely is like
They get Scar.
they do. They actually end up getting Scar. Like they are able to use that weird sticky saliva to kind of pin his alchemy arm down, and so then he's kind of incapacitated and kind of
And they hurt him. And they
they do. They slash one of his arms, so he's bleeding from the other arm, so he's not in a great way. And Ed and Al come in, and I'm sure Jersa and Zapan are like, great, this is awesome. We can all take down this guy together because like it's part of our mission. Literally, we are here to find Scar.
But
and
they're
take him
like,
down.
oh my god, they're these monsters. What did they eat those people that were supposed to look after us?
They know they
we need to attack them.
Like, oh my god, these beasts. And they're like, we're with the military. They're like, no, I've never met you before in my life.
What's wrong with the two of you? We're all on the same side.
I've never teamed up with any freaky looking monsters.
Why would we ever?
Be
No.
our friends so they can eat us!
The chubby one has an enormous mouth. He could eat you in a single bite.
You
Oh,
obnoxious
no.
brats. Settle down.
Gross. We gotta kill those monsters to get our friends back.
Faster than Scar.
What is it, drugged up spit?
It's so light! It's incredible! Amazing! It's like they're not even there!
Aw.
This cold weather auto mail is magnificent!
Aww.
Regret messing with me,
So
kid.
sweet.
So my punches are lighter too?
Yes.
Your special power is saliva? Well, if that's the case, then revert it to water!
It's freezing.
And now?
What do you think you're doing, brother?
My skin is peeling.
I think from now on I'm gonna call that one the wet tongue on a freezing flagpole attack.
That's too many words. Ian.
I've never seen you before in my whole life!
Yeah.
And you must be the enemy if I don't know you! I bet you can't even prove to me that you're on our side!
Fine, I'll transform back to prove it to you.
Can he do that?
Thanks for the opportunity, sucker!
Damn
Is he dead?
All right, big guy. Why don't you take a little nap?
Night.
Is he dead?
No, he's just taking a nap.
Hey, Scar, nice to see you, buddy.
Really
And
miss
then
you.
like Ed just has like it's like smile on his face and it's like laughing and there's like his purple mist and I'm like, wait, was there like drugs in the spit?
He's actually just mixed with one of them frogs with the toxin on their back.
But turns out actually Ed's just like all giddy because of his new arm.
Yeah, so Ed's new automail arm, of course, as you remember, it's not made of steel because it needs to be able to withstand the temperatures of the north. So it's actually a lot lighter, so he can throw punches a lot easier now, and so he feels really good about that. But the trade-off is that because it's lighter, it also hits lighter as well, so he kind of has to adjust.
But that means he
for
can do
that
more hits
change.
then.
Yeah, he can do more hits faster, so it's more like one big hit or a bunch of little hits.
Work around.
Yeah, we'll he's got options. And so, let's see. So Scar then eventually is able to kind of free himself, and then they kind of fight.
It's time to pay for what you've done.
That's fair.
I will kill you if you try to stop me.
Guys, we don't really need a fight now.
Fight.
No, we have other
fight.
Then I'll take it.
I hate to tell you, but my arm isn't steel anymore. Make this difficult.
Scar, guys.
How can we have just a conversation, maybe?
Don't hurt them!
Winry! He's not going to now, is he? We did it!
What are you doing here, you idiot?
And kind of like as it looks like Scar is about to get the upper hand, Winry shows up. And she's like, don't do it! And we're like, Winry, what are you doing
It's
here?
actually not that bad of a thing, though, because,
Yeah.
Scar is not gonna kill Winry, because,
Yeah.
that's just, I feel like for him, that's, he knows that, what he did to her, so, that to him, that's, not an option.
Yeah, and Scar is mostly, he kills because there's a goal in mind. If you're not, interfering with that, he's not really interested in,
And also, he's shown signs that, he's, honorable, and, actually, there's, a bit of him that cares, because, let's be honest here. He did kill the Nina Alexander Chimera.
Yeah.
But he should have killed them.
Yes.
So,
yeah, because to him it was a mercy kill, and, fair. Fair. And so Winry comes in and she's like, yo, don't do that. And they're like, hey, why are you here? But it allows them to kind of get to turn the tides of the fight. And then Scar kind of falls and they are able to bind his arm. So I think uses alchemy to just take the rock or the concrete or whatever and pull it over the arm. And so Scar has to sit there and listen.
That's close enough.
You brought her here, Major?
What are these creatures?
I'd guess they're the result of some ungodly experiment by our superiors. I regret having to treat one of my own people so harshly, but I can't just let you walk away. Not after what you've done. We've got it from here.
More than just back alive?
Stop, Winry. Stay back.
Let me go. It's all right.
It couldn't be
Don't we
any
need
less
him
all
to
right.
translate?
Miss, you need to stay
That's
back.
true.
Just let
Yeah,
me.
we gotta make sure he
Please
lives,
understand.
actually.
Yeah.
You have to let me talk to him. I need to, Ed.
I'm gonna get upset now, aren't
No,
I?
it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay.
No, it's not.
Everything's gonna be fine.
It's not.
Why did you kill my mother and father?
It was an oopsie.
It was kind of an
There's
oopsie.
nothing I can say that won't sound like an excuse.
Fair.
And nothing can change the fact that I am responsible for their deaths.
Fair. Hello?
Yes? And? Oh.
What happened? That's what Major Miles was.
Boy, I sure hope they aren't dead.
Wow, what a real shame. Oh, and then, so Winry's like, hold up, I gotta talk to this guy. So she's like, goes up to this guy and is like, hey, you killed my parents, man. What was up with that? And Scar's like,
The reason's not really good, if we're being honest.
nothing I could say would make you feel better.
True.
because it was a whoopsie. But that doesn't make anyone feel good. So before we kind of get more details about...
Can he, like, apologize at least? Or is that, like, it's, like, the way that, like, he's, like, talking is, like, his weird way. Or did he already apologize?
He may have said sorry before. But it feels like it's not
It
enough.
kind of feels like he's saying, like, nothing I can... And maybe it's saying, like, nothing I can say will, like, make you feel better, which I think it might be his way of apologizing.
Probably, a little bit.
I mean, like, my thing is just, like, I don't think he's ever... Like, he's not gonna kill her, which is nice.
Yeah, like, the only time that he would do anything to her is if she was directly in the way of something that he needed to do.
I don't even know if he'd do that then, just because, like,
he said that in their last encounter. He was like, he's like, I won't do anything to you, but, like, if you attack me, like, I have no choice but to, like, do something about that.
Now I don't know if I fully believe him.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
But before we can, like, get more into that conversation, we kind of pop outside of the building and we hear an explosion, and then we're going to... Yeah, and then we don't know much about that. And then we're going to go back to actually the tunnel that's under Fort Briggs.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
This isn't good. Looks like we've gone over the 24-hour time frame. And you know our Ice Queen. Patience and compassion aren't really her strong suits.
So they're dead?
We did the best we could. We didn't know we'd have to grope our way around back in the dark.
Maybe if these guys hadn't made us douse the lights so their monster wouldn't see us, we'd have made it.
Hey, trust them. Well.
Hooray!
Welcome back, sir.
Hooray!
They made it back! Take these men to sickbay.
I thought you were ordered to seal up this hole after 24 hours.
Yes, sir. But as you can see, it hasn't been 24 hours yet.
Oh.
It's a nice watch, isn't it? General Armstrong gave it to me whenever you guys left.
Aw.
God, what a queen.
Aw, what a queen. So if you recall, I believe it was last episode, or the episode before that, I can't keep track, but Captain Buccaneer went in there with some of his men to go retrieve the guys from the first mission.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, if we're not back in 24 hours...
You seal it.
Close that sucker up. And so they've had to go back, and because at the request, really, or the demand of the folks that they have found, they will not allow them to keep the light on, so they have had to navigate back in the dark.
Fair?
So the Buccaneers team does not understand why that is, but, like, that's actually a fair point. So by the time they get back, it's actually been over 24 hours. And so
they're like,
because of the person that Armstrong is, they're like, there's no way. Like, if you give her a time and say, do this, like, she's going to do it. Like, if you only have a certain amount of time, like, at that minute, like, that's it.
Yeah.
So he's like, we could be trapped in here. But they do go and they knock on the door. And they wait a second, but then it opens.
Hooray!
And so they come out, and Armstrong talks to one of the guys. I think one of the R&D guys.
Was it the older guy?
Yeah, it was the older guy. And so Buccaneer's like, hey, well, I thought that you guys were gonna, like, seal this up, like, permanently after, like, 24 hours. And he's like, yeah, well, and then he, like, pulls out his clock, his watch, and the watch is broken, and so it doesn't go forward in time. And it's so good, and it's so, like, because they have each other's backs.
And it's also established that, like, he just got that watch from the general.
And he's like, oh yeah, you like my watch? General Armstrong gave it to me when you guys went down there. So we know without it being said that, like, she has faith in her men, and also she would not willingly, like, seal up a hole and, like, trap them to, you know, she wouldn't bury them alive. She would bury someone like General Raven alive, though. Fuck that guy. But she not her people.
But she didn't bury him. Well, she didn't bury him, like, alive. He was dying.
He was dying, but he was still breathing when all the cement came into his mouth and inevitably killed him.
Well, luckily there won't be any ramifications from that.
Definitely not. Don't think about it. So, but I really like this scene that follows where Buccaneer kind of goes to report to Armstrong.
General!
Did you find the advance party?
There were only 2 survivors.
Is that so?
Somebody's gonna
What
die.
you're doing?
I'm looking at the mountains. Everything's black and white. I appreciate the pure simplicity of it.
That's not true, sir. You can see blue if you look up.
Aw.
There's nothing that's entirely black and white.
That's true.
And thanks for showing your soldiers a little mercy. It means a lot, sir.
Aw.
That's nice. But I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope.
Oh, it's so good.
Hey, didn't Scar just blow up a place?
No, I knew about it. I knew about it.
Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Long time no see, General Armstrong.
Who's this?
Sorry, Central Command has a few questions that they would very much like to have answered.
First, who the fuck do you think you are?
Well, everybody who works there is really on her side, right?
Yeah. But Armstrong is like having a very like pensive moment, and we don't see her like in her usual stance of like very tall, very like large. She's just kind of like chilling. And I do like this kind of side of her character that we see, because there's a level of vulnerability here that we get to see from her. But they're like they talk. It's a very sweet moment where she's like she really likes the winter because it's like everything's just black and white. It makes everything very simple. And Buccaneer says, no, but if you look up, there's blue too. I thought that was really sweet. And he also kind of thanks her for, basically for allowing them the time to come back. And she's like, no idea what you're talking about.
Nope.
No idea.
And in the end, nothing else?
So we actually have two things at the end. So
Oh, no, I meant after that scene, nothing else.
Oh, yeah, definitely nothing else. Definitely the military doesn't come and then call for Armstrong and say she's got to answer for some things. Definitely not. That didn't happen.
No.
Don't roll back the
Well,
footage.
if she goes to Central, maybe her brother can help.
He's not. He's a compared to her, he's a way lower rank. So
Can they at least
good luck.
hug?
I'm not sure if she's a hugger. He probably is. She's not. He's a hugger. I
do like the dynamic of that family because it kind of feels like the women are kind of like, it feels like they get more like masculine, like the strong, like
Yeah.
and then Armstrong is the teddy bear.
Yeah, the Armstrong family is great. We love the Armstrong family.
Oh, it kind of feels like the younger one is also kind of like dainty minus the piano throwing.
Yeah. Well, she seems like very soft and sweet, but she at the end of the day, like they're called Armstrong for a reason.
She kind of feels like she would hug Armstrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else happened?
And then so that's kind of where we leave the folks at Briggs. So it sounds like Central people are making a mess of things yet again, or about to.
Yep.
And then so of course the last we left off at Baschool, there was an explosion. So we get to see the result of that. No, all the Briggs people got each other's backs.
What's going on in there, Fullmetal? You bastard! This is all your fault, Kimberly! You were supposed to be watching Winry!
Mr. Kimberly, look up there on the roof!
Oh my!
Oh, no.
Was that the? Oh no! What are we gonna do?
Oh God!
Oh no!
What do we do?
Oh no!
What a shame! Ed comes running out, like yelling at Kimberly, like, "Yo, she was supposed to be on your watch. What did you do?" And Kimberly's like, "Huh?" And we look at the top of the building, and Scar is there with Winry in arms because she's been taken hostage.
Oh no! Winry's been taken hostage. Whatever will we do? This is the worst thing that could possibly happen ever, and definitely not fake.
I never saw this coming.
Shock and
Who the
disbelief.
Oh
What?
my gosh. Anyway.
It's like the minute it happened, we were like, we know.
We got it. Anyway, so that's this episode, Dara. What do you think?
I mean, it was kind of nice having like everybody just like together, like meet up for the first time. I'm just like these like different sides that have been like working on like different things. It's like we're together now.
Yeah. There's like a really interesting like overlap of teams here because it's Ed, Al, Winry, and Cool. And then we got like Scar and his crew, and we're like, oh. And then we have like the Briggs crew, and you're like, oh. and then like Kimberly's here too.
We're all coming together. And like I did kind of love how much like we know these characters well enough that like once we saw like Scarlet holding Winry and saying like he's got her hostage, we were like, definitely something bad happened. He's got her hostage. Shock and disbelief. Whatever will we do? This definitely wasn't planned.
Oh, it's so good. The show is so good. I love because we have to like we get to expect more from the characters because we know what they can do. We know what they're capable of. We know what kind of people they are. So we get to expect a lot of them. Yeah. And be like, I know you wouldn't do something stupid like that. I mean, a lot of them are stupid, but like in different ways.
Sounds like there's some kind of scheme.
Some kind of scheme afoot. I would love to get to the next episode to talk about it. But before that, would you like some trivia?
Sure.
All right. This episode is adapted from chapters 71, 72, and 73 of the manga. The array that appears in the background of this episode's title card is part of the Dragon's Pulse tattoo on Scar's arm.
Ooh.
Despite Yoki's introduction being cut until now, he is given nearly a 5-minute long flashback with several added scenes of his misadventures after being thrown from the military, such as him trying to steal from the Armstrong family. So that's actually not in the manga. They did add that, and I think it was specifically because some of the Armstrong family antics were not included in this show, but they were in the manga.
I mean, like you're saying, like
the
show kind of like, for the most part, with like I think the exception of like some side quests were like really like nothing. Like, not, like, too much came out of it except for, like, character development. Mm-hmm. It very much is, like, it's going straight for the plot. There's not much, like, I was trying to think of, like, especially felt like the first, like, couple, like, about 4 or 5 episodes, like, it kind of feels like not a lot. Yeah. Like, not that, it's like, I'm thinking, like, the Chimera episode, like, for a minute it doesn't feel important just to traumatize me specifically. But then you also kind of get, like, a value of just, like, there's a difference between, like, what Ed and Al did versus, like, what other people do.
Yeah.
And also we get to learn about chimeras.
Yeah, and which come back. Again and again.
Yeah, but those aren't upsetting chimeras, if we're being honest.
I mean, I don't know. The guy who spits a lot kind of upsets me.
Yeah, but that was like his choice. I'm not saying it was a good choice. I'm saying it's a choice. It's not what happened.
Yeah.
It's not the trauma of many people, I'm assuming.
That's fair. I mean, there's some trauma. Oh, well, I mean, they definitely probably used, like, stones to do that. So, like, people had to die in order for them to become those chimeras. So, think about it.
Yeah, but which ones are memes?
Yeah.
What's a meme?
That's true. Who is the long-standing meme of trauma? Think about it. Anyway, this was the last episode of the 3rd season. I totally did not catch this. I was like, oh shit. For some reason,
And then it's like a new theme song popped up.
And then a new theme song popped up next episode. We'll talk a little bit about
that. So there's technically
there's actually 5 openings. I thought there were 4. My B.
So there's technically like 5 seasons.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought there was 4.
Which is a solid run for a show.
Very good run for a show. Yeah, absolutely. Next note says, while the original Japanese version had both Jerso and Zephano keeping their human voices while transformed, the dub added voice effects over them, resulting in Zephano's speech being difficult to understand at times. I agree, because some of the stuff he was saying, I was like, huh?
I didn't even realize that.
I was struggling. But that's it. So, all right. Any other thoughts on that episode, Dara?
Want to get to the next one?
Yeah, you know what? Let's get to the next one because there's a ruse. There's a scheme afoot, and I think we should talk about it.
Okay.
All right, until next time. Or not until next time.
We're taking a break.
We're taking a break. Whew. Take a break. Yeah. Oh no! We got nerfed.
What do we do?
Restart.
Oh.
This is why we record the screen.
This is why
I was in the middle of a story. Hold on. Sorry, this is gonna totally derail. There we go. Is this gonna work? No, it doesn't.
Don't worry about it. I mean.
Yeah. I know. I'm annoyed though.
We need to go rescue Winry.
Yay.
Because clearly she's in horrible danger. Hooray! Under 40 minutes.
Oh, nice. All right. I can't wait to go eat my soup.